Experimental data, lithium-ion batteries are expected to lose irreversibly ca 20% of their cyclable charge in 3-5 years or 1000 to 2000 cycles at 25 degrees C. 183. Lithium-ion batteries with titanate anodes do not suffer from SEI growth, and last longer, and GT 5000 cycles, than graphite anodes. However, incomplete cells' other degradation mechanisms, i.e. the dissolution of Mn3+ and the Ni3+/Li and clase exchange, decomposition of PVDF binder and particle detachment, show up after 1000-2000 days, and the used titanate anode does not improve full cell durability in practice. Detailed degradation description. A more detailed description of some of these mechanisms is provided below. Sad smiley 1. The negative anode SEI layer, a passivation coating formed by electrolyte, such as ethylene carbonate, dimethyl carbonate but not propylene carbonate, reduction products, is essential for providing Li and ion conduction, while preventing electron transfer, and, thus, further solvent reduction. Under typical operating conditions, the negative SEI layer reaches affixed thickness after the first few charges, formation cycles, allowing the device to operate for years. However, at elevated temperatures or due to mechanical detachment of the negative SEI, this exothermic electrolyte reduction can proceed violently and lead to an explosion via several reactions. 177. Lithium-ion batteries are prone to capacity fading over hundreds, 184, to thousands of cycles. Formation of the SEI consumes lithium ions, reducing the overall charge and discharge efficiency of the electrode material. 185. As a decomposition product, various SEI-forming additives can be added to the electrolyte to promote the formation of a more stable SEI that remains selective for lithium ions to pass through while blocking electrons. 186. Cycling cells at high temperature or at fast rates can promote the degradation of Li-ion batteries due in part to the degradation of the SEI or lithium. Plating. 187. Charging Li-ion batteries beyond 80% can drastically accelerate battery degradation. 188, 189, 190, 191. Depending on the electrolyte and additives. 192. Common components of the SEI layer that forms on the anode include a mixture of lithium oxide, lithium fluoride and semicarbonates, for example, lithium alkyl carbonates. At elevated temperatures, alkyl carbonates in the electrolyte decompose into insoluble species such as Li2Co3 that increases the film thickness. This decreases cell impedance and reduces cycling capacity. 179. Gases formed by electrolyte decomposition can increase the cell's internal pressure and are a potential safety issue in demanding environments such as mobile devices. 177. Below 25 degrees C, plating of metallic lithium on the anodes and subsequent reaction with the electrolyte is leading to loss of cyclable lithium. 179. Extended storage can trigger an incremental increase in film thickness and capacity loss. 177. Charging at greater than 4.2 V can initiate Li and plating on the anode, producing irreversible capacity loss. Electrolyte degradation mechanisms include hydrolysis and thermal decomposition. 177. At concentrations as low as 10 ppm, water begins catalyzing a host of degradation products that can affect the electrolyte, anode and cathode. 177. Li-PF6 participates in an equilibrium reaction with LiF and PF5. Under typical conditions, the equilibrium lies far to the left. However, the presence of water generates substantial LiF, an insoluble, electrically insulating product. LiF binds to the anode surface, increasing film thickness. 177. Li-PF6 hydrolysis yields PF5, a strong Lewis acid that reacts with electron-rich species, such as water. PF5 reacts with water to form hydrofluoric acid, HF, and phosphorus oxyfluoride. Phosphorus oxyfluoride in turn reacts to form additional HF and difluorohydroxyphosphoric acid. HF converts the rigid SEI film into a fragile one. On the cathode, the carbonate solvent can then diffuse onto the cathode oxide over time, releasing heat and potentially causing thermal runaway. 177. Decomposition of electrolyte salts and interactions between the salts and solvents start at as low as 70 degrees Celsius. Significant decomposition occurs at higher temperatures. At 85 degrees Celsius, transesterification products, such as dimethyl 2,5-dioxahexane carboxylate, DOC, are formed from EC reacting with DMC. 177. Batteries generate heat when being charged or discharged, especially at high currents. Large battery packs, such as those used in electric vehicles, are generally equipped with thermal management systems that maintain a temperature between 15 degrees C, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, and 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. 193. Pouch and cylindrical cell temperatures depend linearly on the discharge current. 194. Poor internal ventilation may increase temperatures. For large batteries consisting of multiple cells, non-uniform temperatures can lead to non-uniform and accelerated degradation. 195. In contrast, the calendar life of LiFePO4 cells is not affected by I-charge states. 196. 197. Positive SEI layer in lithium-ion batteries is much less understood than the negative SEI. It is believed to have a low ionic conductivity and shows up as an increased interfacial resistance of the cathode during cycling and calendar aging. 177, 178, 176. 2. Lithium plating is a phenomenon in which certain conditions lead to metallic lithium forming and depositing onto the surface of the battery's anode rather than intercalating within the anode material's structure. Low temperatures, overcharging and high charging rates can exacerbate this occurrence. 198, 199. During these conditions, lithium ions may not intercalate uniformly into the anode material and form layers of lithium ion on the surface in the form of dendrites. Dendrites are tiny needle-like structures that can accumulate and pierce the separator, causing a short circuit can initiate thermal runaway. 177. This cascade of rapid and uncontrolled energy can lead to battery swelling, increased heat, fires and/or explosions. 200. Additionally, this dendritic growth can lead to side reactions with the electrolyte and convert the fresh plated lithium into electrochemically inert dead lithium. 198. Moreover, the dendritic growth brought on by lithium plating can degrade the lithium-ion battery and lead to poor cycling efficiency and safety hazards. Some ways to mitigate lithium plating and the dendritic growth is by controlling the temperature, optimizing the charging conditions, and improving the material's use. 201. In terms of temperature, the ideal charging temperature is anywhere between 0 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. But also room temperature is ideal, 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. 202. Advancements in materials innovation requires much research and development in electrolyte selection and improving the anode resistance to plating. One such materials innovation would be to add other compounds to the electrolyte like fluoroaluminum carbonate, FeC, to form a rich LiFSEI. 203. Another novel method would be to coat the separator in a protective shield that essentially kills the lithium ions before it can form these dendrites. 204. 3. Certain manganese-containing cathodes can degrade by the Hunter degradation mechanism, resulting in manganese dissolution and reduction on the anode. 177. By the Hunter mechanism for Li-Mn2O4. Hydrofluoric acid catalyzes the loss of manganese through disproportionation of a surface trivalent manganese to form a tetravalent manganese and a soluble divalent manganese. Smiley 177. 2Mn3 plus Mn2 plus and Mn4 plus material loss of the spinel results in capacity fade. Temperatures as low as 50 degrees Celsius initiate Mn2 plus deposition on the anode as metallic manganese with the same effects as lithium and copper plating. 179. Cycling over the theoretical max and min voltage plateaus destroys the crystal lattice via Jahn-Teller distortion, which occurs when Mn4 plus is reduced to Mn3 plus during discharge. 177. Storage of a battery charged to greater than 3.6 V initiates electrolyte oxidation by the cathode and induces SEI layer formation on the cathode. As with the anode, excessive SEI formation forms an insulator resulting in capacity fade and uneven current distribution. 177. Storage at less than 2 V results in the slow degradation of Li-2 and Li-Mn2O4 cathodes, the release of oxygen and irreversible capacity loss. 177. 4. Cation mixing is the main reason for the capacity decline of the Ni-rich cathode materials. As the Ni content in the N-seam layered material increases, the capacity will increase, which is the result of 2 electron of Ni2 plus /Ni4 plus redox reaction. Please note that Mn remains electrochemically inactive in the 4 plus state, but increasing the Ni content results in a significant degree of mixing of Ni2 plus and Li plus cations due to the closeness of their ionic radius. Li plus equals 0.076 nm and Ni2 plus equals 0.069 nm. During charge forward/discharge cycling, the Li and in the cathode cannot be easily extracted, and the existence of Ni2 plus in the Li layer blocks the diffusion of Li plus, resulting in both capacity loss and increased ohmic resistance. 205. 5. Discharging below 2 V can also result in the dissolution of the copper anode current collector and, thus, in catastrophic sentinel short-circuiting on recharge. Recommendations. The IEEE Standard 1188-1996 recommends replacing lithium-ion batteries in an electric vehicle when their charge capacity drops to 80% of the nominal value. 206. In what follows, we shall use the 20% capacity loss as a comparison point between different studies. We shall note, nevertheless, that the linear model of degradation, the constant percent of charge loss per cycle or per calendar time, is not always applicable, and that a Ni point, observed as a change of the slope, and related to the change of the main degradation mechanism, is often observed. 207. Safety. Fire hazard. Lithium-ion batteries can be a safety hazard since they contain a flammable electrolyte and may become pressurized if they become damaged. A battery cell charged too quickly could cause a short circuit, leading to overheating and explosions and fires. 208. A Li-ion battery fire can be started due to 1. Thermal abuse, for example poor cooling or external fire. 2. Electrical abuse e.g. overcharge or external short circuit. 3. Mechanical abuse, for example penetration or crash. Or 4. Internal short circuit, for example due to manufacturing flaws or aging. 209. 210. Because of these risks, testing standards are more stringent than those for acid electrolyte batteries, requiring both a broader range of test conditions and additional battery-specific tests, and there are shipping limitations imposed by safety regulators. 69, 211, 212. There have been battery-related recalls by some companies, including the 2016 Samsung Galaxy Note 7 recall for battery fires. 213, 214. Lithium-ion batteries have a flammable liquid electrolyte. 215. A fault